Good afternoon, everybody. The homeless man just woke up. All right, so I'm going to make this video explaining a little bit about my PTSD and why I never, ever, ever sleep more than 5 hours a day. All right. Steve Harvey is one of my greatest idols. I have a lot of idols, a lot of people that I look up to. And Steve Harvey's one of them. And Steve Harvey once said, rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. And that's facts. They really don't. You know, I've read Kobe Bryant's book. I've read Michael Jordan's book. I've read Elon Musk's book. I've read Jeff Bezos' book. I've read every book that any millionaire or billionaire has ever written. Well, maybe not all of them, because it's a long list, but I'm working my way through it. And one of the common denominators between who's rich and who's not is rich people read. They don't listen to music, which I don't listen to music, by the way. I don't. I listen to audiobooks. I've said this before in videos. The only time I listen to music is when I'm at a concert, or I'm doing karaoke, or I'm at an establishment, right? And so yeah, hopefully y'all can get some advice from this. I don't know, but I will tell you this. The other reason why I only sleep 5 hours a day, aside from the PTSD, which we'll get into in a minute, is the fact that while you're sleeping, somebody else is chasing your dream. So when I got off of work at 2 o'clock, I went to where I sleep, and I slept for 5 hours. It's now 8 o'clock. 5 hours to me is a good day. 5 hours to me is sleeping in. Most of the time, when you're out here in these elements like this, something as small as a raccoon walking up to you can be enough, especially if you have PTSD, to wake you out of a dead sleep. And then you ain't going back to sleep. That's just the way it is. And so maybe it's the being homeless for as long as I have. Maybe it's the PTSD, whatever. I couldn't sleep for 8 hours if I wanted to. So I worked 8 hours putting food on somebody else's table. That's not a hit at anybody. That's what having a job does. And I made enough money to hopefully invest in myself one day. So yeah, work for 8 hours, sleep for 5. Here we are, it's 8 p.m. I'm waking up and I'm on my way to Shattered Saloon, where I go every Thursday for karaoke. Okay. I go to Whiskey's every Wednesday and every Sunday, unless there's a bigger event, like a big concert or something. Most of the concerts I'm going to here in the next couple of weeks are on Fridays. So my schedule does change, but in order to reduce stress in my life after multiple years of therapy, I've learned that it helps to stick to a routine like this. Whatever your routine may be. For me, it's my social media, chasing my dreams, yada, yada, you know. That's why I said I chose first shift, was because I would like to leave my afternoons open to still be able to support local music and still be able to do the things that I want to do in life. And I happen to know a couple of artists who haven't chased their dreams because they're too busy working for somebody else's dreams. And I won't call them out by name, but if you have a job that interferes with you chasing your dreams, take it from me, chase your dreams. Find a new job. You can always get a new job, okay? For those of you who don't know, I broke my spine when I was 17. I was supposed to be a professional BMX racer. I had Nike, Adidas, Under Armour flying me out. I lived the childhood dream of everybody on the other side of this phone. And if you watch the pinned post at the top of my profile, then you know exactly what I just referenced. But unfortunately, when I was 17, I broke my spine and I was told I'd never ride a bike again. For my loyal followers, you know that the last time I rode a bike was last year at the free race that they do every year. You don't need a membership. And I got on a bike, and for the first time in, 17 to 30, that's 13 years. So for the first time in 13 years, last year I got on a bike and I won the last race that I ever did. Because I won that race, I'll never get on a bike again. It's way too dangerous. But I rewrote my story that day. A lot of you guys are newer followers. I've had like 300 new followers or something, 400 new. I don't know. It's going pretty crazy right now, actually. There's like 4 or 5 a day, which is like way more growth than I've experienced in the past. So if you're out there telling your friends about the homeless man, I greatly appreciate you. And every once in a while I'll get a comment on here that'll knock me. Oh, imagine being homeless and being doing karaoke every night and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not even going to get into that. Okay? Because you can't explain big dreams to small-minded people. It'll never happen. All right? So if this is you, if you're one of those creators out there that's hurt by a comment, like I said, you can't explain big dreams to small-minded people. So just keep going and keep pushing and keep chasing your dream. So, karaoke lets out at like 1 o'clock. I don't have to be to work till 6. And the bus starts at 4. So you can see how I have a couple more hours to maybe take a nap if I wanted to, but I probably won't. I'll probably spend that time meditating or reading a book or something along those lines. Also, because of the PTSD, my nervous system, like I said, is different than an average person's, and I can't explain this. I'm not a neuroscientist, and I don't have Besser van der Kolk's The Body Keeps the Score in front of me, which, by the way, is a book about PTSD, which very, very thoroughly explains what it's like to be me. If you're into reading and you haven't read The Body Keeps the Score by Besser van der Kolk, a very great title, not just for somebody with PTSD, but for anybody experiencing stress in their life. Very great read if you haven't heard of it. So, but yeah, I don't sleep more than 5 hours a day. And I have been doing this now for 2 years. And this gives me 4 extra hours of productivity to either do my videos or come up with new ideas or, like I said, meditate, take in new information. It gives me 4 extra hours of productivity over anybody else who sleeps 8 hours a day. I mean, if you're sleeping 10 or 12, I really feel bad for you. That's like depression in my eyes. I don't know, but yeah, I only sleep 5 hours a day. That's it. And I already slept today, which means I'm going to go do karaoke. I might not record. I don't know, guys. For those of you who do watch these, my loyal followers, I got to let you know, I'm on my last cell phone with my last bit of gigs, and I have a whole bunch of live streams that are about to expire that I have to download. It's a long shot, but if anybody has any old phones that still work that you want to format and like wipe out and like take back to 0 and delete all your, whatever, so that it can be usable by somebody else, I could really use some old phones. Again, go ahead and do like a full factory reset on it, but I definitely could use a phone or two that have been factory reset for me, so that way I have more data storage, because I'm running out. I got like 6 phones in a drawer in a safe place that have like the last 2 years of my life on me. And I'm on my last phone. And I've acquired some of these through family members and different people that have donated them along the way for this purpose. Now I got a job, so I can hopefully maybe go buy like some SD cards or something. I don't know. But I also have to be careful because first, I got to get my license back. And that is $30,000 in child support. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. But the next box that I'm trying to check in life is getting that driver's license so that I can legally park my vehicle and have a place to sleep. Right now, I don't have tags, I don't have a license, I don't have insurance. I can't be in my vehicle on public property and have a police officer pull up and say, hey, you all right? Driver's license and registration, So right now, my goal is to get legal so that way I can sleep in my vehicle and be able to travel and get around to where I need to go a whole lot faster and increase my productivity. It's all about increasing productivity, I guess. I don't know really what this video is about. I guess that's what we'll call it. And hopefully I can solve this data problem. I'm running out of data, which means I won't be able to go live as often. I might have to record my karaoke videos and then post them. It's weird because if I record and then post, they don't delete it. But if I go live, they delete it. It's the same video. But ideally, I'd like to be able to continue bringing you guys live videos. Just because you never know what's going to happen in these. I mean, right now, a dog could run out of this yard and bite me on my ankle. I don't know if any of y'all ever seen that episode, but it's out there. So, like, you never know what you're going to see on a homeless man's live stream. A lot of times it's kind of the same boring style of content. I don't know. Some people, not everybody finds it boring, but every once in a while, it's like, holy shit, did you see that? Been a couple times I've been around famous people, but I don't record around famous people. I will say that. I don't record around artists and different people unless it's something that we've agreed to collaborate on. Like the time I met Akon at the Hard Rock Casino. And then got banned from the Hard Rock Casino. I bet you didn't see that episode. But it's out there. And somewhere out there is a picture I got of Akon. I didn't have the... in order to get a picture with Akon, you had to buy into the high roller table on the day of the Hard Rock opening. Everybody who posted pictures with Akon that day put like $10,000 in chips on the table. They had to buy into the high stakes poker game in order to play with Akon. And everybody who played with Akon got to take a picture with him. Clearly, I didn't. So, but I did get his brother Abu's business card for Columbia Records. And I have his brother's personal email, so that's like awesome. Social networking, right? Anywho, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm on my way to Shatter to do karaoke. So, and then I gotta get close to the bus stop because the first bus runs at 4:15 and can have me to work an hour early if I catch it. So, and then tomorrow I'll do the same thing. I'll get back to my sleeping spot around 3 o'clock. And I'm thinking from like 3 to 9, which is 6 hours, right? Is probably going to be when I'm asleep with this new job. So my schedule has changed. But again, most of these shows don't start till 8, 9, 10 o'clock. If I can get my license, I can move around a lot faster. So where there's a will, there's a way. And I finally found a way. I told y'all I was going to let you know when I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're a loyal follower, you know which episode I'm referring to, but I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here, guys. It's my job to not put it out. Make sure I am where I need to be and doing the things I need to do. So, and when I say that, I'm referring to this new job. We got to keep this new job. That's like step number one. So I changed my schedule around a little bit. I no longer sleep from like, I was going out and then sleeping from like 4 to 8, waking up at 8 when the temp agency's open, and then looking for a job till 2, 3, and then going out if I couldn't find a job. But now we have a job. So I had to move the 4 or 5 hours that I sleep up in my schedule to make sure that I'm not tired. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what lessons are there to be learned here. For every individual, everybody observes the world in their own way. So maybe there's something I said that resonates with one of you, and something else that I said that resonates with another somebody, you know. But I started this to save a life. That's the goal. That was the only goal, was to save a life. Okay. And it's become such a bigger thing than that. So I've said this since the beginning. If this video right here gets 1 view, I'm going to continue to do what I do, because it's worth it for somebody out there. Somebody out there is listening, and that's all that matters. Because somebody out there commits suicide every 40 seconds. And every 4 minutes, a life is lost to overdose. So, tell your truth. Tell your truth, and like-minded people will seek you. Anyway, like I said, if I stop going live, now y'all know why. Okay, I'm running I can't keep backing up on my phones. If anybody out there has any old phones in the drawer that you want to, like I said, factory reset and donate to the homeless man, so that way he can continue to do what he does, and Mark Zuckerberg can continue to delete my intellectual property without my express written permission, that'd be great. Because one day we're going to do a whole episode on how Facebook monitors your freedom of speech, how they delete your intellectual property without your permission, all that stuff. Now, why am I on Facebook? Because there's 8 billion people on Facebook. Facebook's the platform. This is where we're all at. Everybody's on Facebook. All right? X, Instagram, TikTok, they're great platforms, but they do not have an audience like Facebook does. They don't. So, Facebook's a little harder to break through on. But that doesn't stop me from trying. And eventually a lot of this content will be on Instagram and TikTok, and yeah, so if you're looking for my Instagram or my TikTok or my YouTube, all of the links are in my bio, in my about section. You can find links to all of those accounts. They do exist, but they're inactive. Not really inactive as much as I just don't post there. But eventually, like I said, I have all of my content backed up, so eventually it will be on the other platforms as well. We got one day at a time, one step at a time here, all right? And like I said, I can't explain my big vision to small-minded people, so I'm not even going to bother. But, yeah. Don't let the opinions of others bother you. Period. That's the biggest lesson from this, I guess. I don't know, I'm going to shut up now. Love yourself, love others, and love the world around you. Peace.